Ignited, The Fall of the Rising Hero, Chapter 4, Where the Glass Heart Shattered, Part 2. Torpid skated on his ice so fast that when Rift suddenly put up his sand wall, he slammed right through it. "I figured you'd try to take out Phoenix first," said Rift. Torpid skated across the grass, out of control until he slammed his hands on the ground, forming an ice wall behind himself. He finally stopped skidding when his back slammed against the newly formed ice. As soon as he was able to get control back, the ice user quickly looked around for Phoenix. Spotting his fiery foe running across the field, he started skating towards him again, when another sand wall popped out of nowhere, blocking him. "Now don't think I'll let you go that easily," said Rift. Torpid's blue eyes widened as he watched his fiery red-headed foe get away from him. Meanwhile, Amnes was coming up on Quixotic, who had already made it pretty far across the field. "Don't take me for such a fool, Squint!" Amnes reached his hand out towards Quixotic's neck to grab the bell. But before Amnes could touch Quixotic, Phoenix came up behind him, blasting a fireball at his back. At the last minute, Amnes' caramel-colored skin turned into cold gray stone before the flames could touch him. Amnes swung his rocky fist around to hit Phoenix, but every time he tried, the speedy fire user would move, then hit him 3 more times, before Amnes could even get close to him. What Amnes had in strength and durability, Phoenix had in speed. All the strength and bulk of his rocky body made for a good strong armor and powerful hits, but made it harder to move. All the strength in the world could not help Amnes if he could barely get a hit in. Meanwhile, Phoenix was pushing him back with every other blow. "Damn it, you little douchemonger!" yelled Amnes. "Torpid is supposed to be keeping you off my ass. Where the fuck is he?" Amnes turned to find Torpid was being blocked by Rift's walls of sand. "Damn it, Vivi! Teleport Torpid here!" The girl in the skirt turned to Amnes, to Quixotic, who was already rushing down the field towards the goal. "But with the 5-minute cooldown, we won't be able to capture—" "Damn it, Vivica, just do it now!" Vivi grimaced as she cast a big black portal right in front of Torpid. Rift didn't have time to block the blonde boy as he stepped inside the portal and came out the other side, right behind Phoenix. Torpid went to cast ice at the fiery boy when he turned around just in the nick of time. His fire dispersed the ice into water. "And now the little twerp whose powers are a mystery to us is halfway across the field," yelled Vivi. "Oh, and I have a 5-minute cooldown," Vivi spat. "Damn it, woman, I said let me take care of it," yelled Amnes. "Torpid, wall!" Torpid made a huge ice wall right in front of the goal, blocking Quixotic off. The stone giant went to swing at Quixotic before the smaller boy dodged it just in time. "Phoenix!" yelled Rift. "Our plans are quickly falling apart." "Just stay near our goal," Phoenix replied. "Make sure that freshman girl doesn't try to teleport to you." Phoenix reached his arm out to grab Vivi's bell off her neck to end the game, when at the last second, Torpid put an ice wall between them. Both Phoenix and Vivi jumped away from the newly formed ice wall as quickly as they could. "That was too close, Torpid!" screamed Vivi. "You could have taken my face! Ah!" Vivi jumped as Phoenix started burning through the ice wall to get her bell. "I know," said Torpid, throwing an ice spear at Phoenix. "I'm sorry." Phoenix turned around, melting the ice spear as it evaporated into water. "I know, I'm sorry," mocked Phoenix. "If you're going to continue to be such an axe wound, then bring it. I'm going to pound your sorry pretty boy ass into the dirt." Phoenix's whole arm set ablaze as he went to attack Torpid. Torpid froze his own arm, putting it in front of his face to block the attack. The ice dispersed into water as it evaporates, flying all over the field. "Come on," yelled Phoenix. "Stop blocking and give it to me like you mean it, ice ass!" Torpid put his arm up again to block with his ice, like the first time. At the last minute, Phoenix shifted position and dove for his side. Torpid quickly summoned ice around his side, just in the nick of time, as the fire reached it, blowing the ice user to the ground. Warm rain water poured down over the field. Torpid slowly looked up, squinting at Phoenix's towering figure. Now you die, smirked Phoenix. Phoenix went to strike when nothing but steam came out. What the? I'm surprised you didn't notice since you seem so pumped full of adrenaline, replied Torpid. But I made you wet. Phoenix's red hair now clung to his neck. He looked down at his baggy, wet basketball shorts and soaking black tank top that clung to his lean, muscular build. I made you hit my ice with your fire on purpose, explained Torpid. Shit! Phoenix quickly tried to steam himself dry, but Torpid's ice clung to his foot, slowly climbing up his calf. The Arizona desert might make it super easy for you to use your firepower, since it nearly never rains here. But now with all this water around that we've created, I think my ice has a stronger chance of excelling. I can't thank you enough for the assist. Shit! Don't worry, Phoenix, yelled Rift from across the field. I'll come break you out. Phoenix looked from Rift to Vivi's smirking face. They were planning on Rift to leave his post so they could have the opening goal to themselves. They were planning this. Don't you fucking move from that spot, yelled Phoenix. Ah, you little shit, that pinched. The ice had climbed up to Phoenix's knee as the cold latched onto his skin. Sorry, said Torpid. I'll try to be more gentle. Phoenix turned to look at Quixotic to see that he was running around the ice wall while dodging Amnes's rocky fist. What are you doing? Phoenix yelled at Quixotic. Trying to find another way around, yelled Quixotic, dodging Amnes's attack by barely an inch. There is no other way, screamed Phoenix. The ice climbed up to his thigh as it reached his waist. The ice wall goes around this whole goal. You have to use your superpowers to do something now. My superpowers? Asked Quixotic. Stop fucking around. You're our only hope. Do it now. Just... What are you trying to pull, huh? Are you really gonna let me and Riff lose this? Are you trying to humiliate me in front of the whole school tomorrow? I'm not... What's your fucking damage, then? I don't have any superpowers! Quixotic blurted out. A cold feeling ran up Phoenix's whole body. His brown eyes widened with realization. Not a moment later, Vivi came out of the black portal behind Quixotic, snatching the bell collar off of his neck before he could even flinch. Amnes then tackled Quixotic like a heavy truck, shoving him to the ground. Yeah, eat grass, you scrawny twerp, yelled Amnes. The game ended when I got the Junker's ball, said Vivi with the choker in her hand. That was unnecessary. I know, I just wanted to do that, laughed Amnes, his rocky gray monster form, turning back into his normal dark-skinned self. Torpid stopped freezing Phoenix's body and began unfreezing it. Oh good, I don't have to suck Phoenix's ass anymore. Torpid sighed in relief. What? Is that why you gave it your all? Asked Amnes. Haha, dumbass. Torpid, when Phoenix told you to suck his ass, he didn't mean literally, explained Vivi. It's just a turn of phrase. Oh. A light blush spread across the bridge of Torpid's nose. Come on, ice cream sounds good right about now, said Animus. Animus, Torpid, and Vivi turned to leave when Phoenix shouted out, Wait, what the fuck is going on here? Did you set this whole thing up? Phoenix turned to Quixotic, who was laying on the grass. Did you set me up? No, You're here because you transferred from Japan to join the hero course, right? Yelled Phoenix frantically. No, I mean, I'm going to try out, but Why are you here? My mother committed suicide, Quixotic blurted out on command. And my American dad, he's all I have left, so I live with him and his... You told me he was a transfer, yelled Phoenix, pointing to Animus. You said he transferred here to try for the hero course in Xavier. I mean, what can I say, man? Amnes shrugged. I guess I just assumed. Amnes smirked at the outcome of the situation. Him and the other two teammates turned to leave. Quixotic stood up, walking remorsefully over towards Phoenix. Hey, Phoenix, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to... Phoenix balled up his fist before turning around and decking Quixotic in the face. The smaller boy staggered before falling to the ground. The fiery redhead stalked over towards Quixotic, his small quivering form laying on the grass, holding his nose. Phoenix clenched his fist. This can't be right. He had to have powers. Phoenix began kicking Quixotic while he was on the ground. He could not have superpowers. It was too rare nowadays. He had to be lying. Phoenix began kicking him harder. Come on, do something. I'm not even using my powers. What are you doing? Defend yourself, yelled Phoenix. Bitter tears began to prick Phoenix's eyes. Quixotic whimpered and wailed on the ground, being assaulted by multiple kicks from around his body. Phoenix! Rift wrapped his arms around Phoenix, pulling him off of Quixotic. He's had enough! You're going too far! How could you lie to me? Phoenix yelled at Quixotic. Phoenix squirmed in Rift's arms, trying to break free. Rift continued to drag Phoenix off the field. That's enough, Phoenix! Yelled Rift. We lost a bad bet. Just leave it, man. You'll never become a hero! You're nothing but a defect! Phoenix shouted at Quixotic. The words rang in Quixotic's ear. It was sudden and sharp. Hearing that from Phoenix felt worse than being cursed at and kicked somehow. Rift dragged Phoenix off the field as Quixotic slowly stood back up. Fresh tears began to form in his green eyes. It was nighttime by the time Rift and Phoenix walked into the boys' locker room to grab their stuff and go home. See, it's not so bad. We just have to wear the skirt for one day, said Rift. Who knows? Maybe it'll suit you. That's not what I'm upset about. What about the Junker Ball team? Asked Phoenix. This semester was supposed to be my last semester, too. Wait, last semester? We have a whole nother year of high school left. A look of realization dawned upon Rift. I thought tests were still going on. Phoenix, did you get anything from the Xavier Academy? Phoenix turned to the locker, opening it up. Then he turned towards Rift with a small envelope in his hands. Oh, Phoenix, I knew it! Congratulations! Rift threw his arms around Phoenix's shoulder in a tight hug before his lips crashed against Phoenix's. Phoenix jumped back, breaking the kiss instantly. What? We're both alone now, said Rift. Bullshit, you didn't even check. Phoenix blushed, turning away. Bastard, I told you to be cautious when you do something like that. Fine, I'll check, sighed Rift. Hey, anyone in the locker rooms? Me and Phoenix want to make out. Idiot! Yelled Phoenix, hitting Rift's chest. What if someone is in here? But Phoenix, laughed Rift, as Phoenix continued to hit his chest. It's 8 at night. Even band practice ended hours ago. Who'd be in here this late? It's possible, said Phoenix stubbornly. Besides, we might have lost. But you looked pretty hot. Panting and out of breath, with your soaking wet hair clinging to your neck. Rift whispered in Phoenix's ear. Phoenix stopped hitting Rift, his freckled face turning as red as his hair. Smiling, Rift grabbed Phoenix's hand in his, wrapping his other arm around Phoenix's waist. Leaning in, Rift pressed his lips to Phoenix's again. Phoenix complied because he secretly liked it when his boyfriend was persistent like this, even if it was embarrassing. After a while, Rift broke the kiss. Phoenix kept his lips puckered for a moment before opening his eyes. So, are we gonna read your acceptance letter together? Asked Rift. Phoenix scowled, his brown eyes glaring at Rift. What? Smirked Rift. I want to. We were in the middle of you. You're the one who wanted to make out, Phoenix retorted, blushing. Besides, I don't know what the letter says yet. I might have not even gotten in at all. Stupid. Is there really any doubt? Asked Rift. You are the great Phoenix after all. Phoenix and Rift sat on the wooden bench in front of the lockers. Phoenix's shaky hand slowly opened the envelope, his brown eyes scanning over every letter, breathing them in, as they had the power to make or break his future. Dear Phoenix Strifer, he began reading out. You did really well in both the physical and written tests. However, the main New York Academy is full. but the staff have been talking about opening an academy in your hometown of downtown Phoenix, Arizona. I do hope you can be one of the first graduating classes of the Xavier Academy of the Arizona branch." "Dude, congratulations!" cheered Rift. "What do you mean?" asked Phoenix. "I didn't get into the main academy." "But you got something. Dude, you're so lucky. I didn't even get anything back. Your course is pretty much set. You're destined to be a hero." Rift sat behind Phoenix, wrapping his sandy arms around Phoenix's chest, nuzzling his face into his boyfriend's tuffet of dye-red hair that lay flat on his wet head. "I'm so proud of you," smiled Rift, planting a kiss on Phoenix's head. Destined to be a hero. Phoenix thought about this for a long time. It was his long-awaited dream to be a hero. Everyone expected it from him, for him to be one of the greats, but now was the time to prove himself, to make his dream an actual reality. He could work his way up to New York from here. Phoenix was snapped out of his train of thought when he saw Rift playing with a crudely cut piece of glass in the shape of a heart. "What did you keep that for?" asked Phoenix. "Because, Phoenix, it's cute but jagged with rough edges," laughed Rift. "It's a symbol of our love." "Or it's just glass," said Phoenix. Phoenix bit his lip and looked down at the concrete floor. What did this opportunity mean for him and Rift? He would no doubt become a hero after school now. He could possibly become famous. Then everyone would know about their relationship, no matter how much he tried to hide it. Which would be really bad. Bad but unavoidable. "What's wrong?" asked Rift. "It's just, I think we should break up," responded Phoenix, without even looking up at Rift's face. The atmosphere completely changed. Phoenix continued to stare at the concrete floor of the locker room to hide his expression. Rift bent over to scan Phoenix's face anyways, sand coming out of his plain brown hair. "What's wrong?" Rift repeated. "It's just, if I become famous, then we can't be together anyways. Because then everyone would find out that I was, that you were what? Gay?" Rift stood up from the bench, throwing his arms out, sand splattering all over the floor. "So what? You're gay, Phoenix. It's not that big of a deal anymore. I wish that sometimes you would see it that way too. I'm sick of hiding. I want to go out with you. I wish we could do things like go out to dinner or see a movie. I want to kiss you out in public and tell people that you're mine, Phoenix." "You don't get it," said Phoenix, standing up to meet Rift. "It's not just that people will be chastising me. I don't want me being gay to be the only focus. I want to be known for more than that. My abilities and strengths. Ever since Ice Crusher came out as gay, it's all anyone has been talking about, for better or for worse. I don't just want to be that gay hero. I'm better than that." "But Phoenix, you are more than just that gay hero. I know that. People will know that. You know that, right?" "But what's the point in trying anyways?" Phoenix said, putting on a stone-cold facade. "It's just a phase. It's not like it means anything anyways." Rift dropped the glass hard as it shattered to the concrete ground. Both boys stood still for a moment as they stared at the sad broken thing. "I can mend it." Phoenix lit a fire in his hand as he bent over towards the glass piece. "Don't bother," said Rift. "I mean, it's just glass." Rift grabbed his backpack before flinging it over his shoulder and walking out the door. Phoenix sat in the locker room with his back pressed up against the locker. Tears began to brim the edge of his brown eyes before spilling down his freckled cheeks. The sound of something falling in the single-stall bathroom broke the silence. Phoenix's head snapped up, turning towards the noise. Phoenix became really quiet as he could now hear slight, panicked breathing coming out of the other side of the bathroom door. Quietly, Phoenix began walking towards the bathroom, lighting a fire in his hand. Phoenix stood in front of the bathroom door, listening intently. The breathing of the person on the other side of the door became steady now. Phoenix kicked the door, flinging it wide open. Quixotic jolt, his little pale hands covering his mouth, his green eyes wide behind his scraggly black hair as he stared at Phoenix. Quixotic finally took his hands off his mouth. His quivering lips opened with a slight whine. I didn't see anything, Quixotic squeaked out. That's something a liar would say, thought Phoenix. Why was he here? Why was he spying? Before Phoenix responded, he put his fiery hand on Quixotic's shoulder, pinning him to the grimy green bathroom wall. That's right. You didn't see anything, Phoenix seethed. Quixotic wiggled and Phoenix's fiery grasped uncomfortably. Ow! Please stop! Cried Quixotic, tears streaming out of his green eyes. It burns! Breaking up with Rift wasn't a waste. Phoenix had to reassure himself of that. You will not go around spreading any rumors, said Phoenix. But that's right. Who would believe a lying little defect like you anyways? You were lying about having powers, and now you're lying about my sexuality. All because you're a attention whore. I'm not the fag. You're the fag. Yeah, everyone will believe that one, won't they? That you're a little cocksucker. But you'll leave a mark. Quixotic glared up into Phoenix's burning brown eyes. Even though his green eyes were watering with a mixture of pain and fear, he was somehow threatening the bigger bully. That sort of defiance made Phoenix's eyes twitch. Oh, Phoenix said through his teeth. I think you got this mark from playing Junker Ball. That's what I saw. I did not. Quixotic screamed. Phoenix pressed his fiery hand into Quixotic's pale shoulder. It was a really bad game for you, hissed Phoenix. You'll just keep getting hurt, and it's all your fault. Phoenix got sick of looking at his face. Something about that defiant face makes him want to tear it to pieces. I didn't. You were the reason. The burn mark. Phoenix kept his flames going, persistently glaring at Quixotic, who was now crying. It's my fault. I got the burn mark while playing. What, is that all? Asked Phoenix with a sadistic grin. I basically dragged you through the game we just lost. Maybe if you weren't such a pathetic defect, we would have won. Apologize. Apologize for being a defect. Apologize for being the scum that stuck to my boot today. The fire burned so badly that Quixotic couldn't think straight. All he could focus on was the searing pain that burned into his shoulder bone. I'm sorry, Quixotic bursted out through his tears. I'm sorry for being a defect. I'm sorry. You're sorry for what? Grinned Phoenix. I'm sorry for being the scum that stuck to your boot today, screamed Quixotic. Phoenix finally let go of Quixotic's shoulder, leaving the boy to slump on the grimy green floor. See? That wasn't so bad, was it? Laughed Phoenix. Quixotic slowly looked up at Phoenix through his scraggly black bangs, tears streaming out of his green eyes as they stared at him. Phoenix's wicked grin flattened at the sight. His mouth opened then closed again. Tch! Scoffed Phoenix. Turning his back on Quixotic, he walked out of the bathroom, then walked out of the locker room, leaving Quixotic crying on the dirty bathroom floor. The memory of that day about 19 years ago was still fresh in Phoenix's mind. He stared at the dingy, dirt-covered bathroom floor where he left Quixotic crying all those years ago. The floor was miraculously even more dirty now than it was then, with grime and dust caking it since the school closed down and was abandoned about 10 years ago. Suddenly, a shadow interrupted Phoenix's train of thought as he whipped his head around, only to see his own startling reflection in the shattered mirror of the dimly lit bathroom. Phoenix definitely looked different than he did back when he was here last as a 16-year-old. His once bright, starry brown eyes, now faded with dark spots underneath. His dyed, bright fire hair, a dull orange, and laying flat on his head in a messy ponytail that hasn't been brushed in weeks. He looked starkly different from the Phoenix who used to bully Quixotic in this very bathroom. He looked very tired. Phoenix looked around the abandoned school bathroom for his old nemesis once again before pulling out the invitation out of his black vest. Ignited. You're invited to my birthday party. When? 3/26 at 11:59 p.m. Where? Meet me where the glass heart shattered. Could he have been wrong? Tricked? Why high school of all places? The low note of the little dork's life. Phoenix jumped at the sound of the phone. Groping in his pants pocket, he pulled out the cracked phone, flipping it open. He hated the usernames on it, but he couldn't change it. My best friend Quixotic. Hey, Ignited. Keep that old flip phone I gave you? You better have. I put you on my family plan. Number 1 here, Ignited. Quit the chit-chat, fucker. What's with the cryptid message? Where the fuck are you? You better not be pulling some trick. My best friend Quixotic. You messaged me back. Number 1 here, Ignited. I knew you were up to something. What's your game? My best friend Quixotic. Game? Me? Never. Unless you're talking about party games. Also, I'm here and I know you are too. I watched you walk through the door. You're my favorite hero. I'm so honored you made it. In fact, you came a little too early. It's only 10 p.m. I needed more time to get ready. You're so inconsiderate sometimes. Do me a favor. It's a formal event, so put on the tuxedo I left in your old gym locker and meet me in the gym. Phoenix slipped the phone back into his pocket and looked around the abandoned, mold-covered locker room until he got to his rusted red locker. There was indeed a dark red tuxedo with a black vest inside with his exact measurements. Like hell I would. Phoenix slammed the rusted door closed, leaving the outfit inside untouched. He began walking out towards the gym, down the leaky hallway. When he got to the gym, the first thing that hit him was the stench. It reeked of a sickly odor. Something about it was uncanny. He unconsciously scrunched up his nose as he walked inside. Oh, Ignited, why do I even bother? Pouted Quixotic. I mean, I just texted you that it was a formal event. Phoenix could hardly see the inside of the dimly lit room, but from what he could tell, Quixotic stood at the end of the long frilly table, next to a Victorian-style chair. He wasn't usually dressed so nicely, but Quixotic wore a silk green shirt with a black vest that had a twin tailcoat. You dress like a homeless hitchhiker, scoffed Quixotic. Phoenix flinched as Quixotic picked up a knife that was laying on the table. You know, sometimes I think you actively try to make my life more difficult. Quixotic sneered, jabbing the knife towards Phoenix, before bringing the knife down on the cake that sat in front of him, cutting it into nice, even slices before licking the frosting off the knife. Okay, Quixotic, what are you up to? Phoenix's muscles stayed tense as he began walking over towards the madman. It's not even your birthday. Phoenix stopped in the middle of his sentence. The smell wafted in his face stronger now than ever. Where was it even coming from? Not even the bathroom of the old decaying school smelled this bad. Phoenix felt that if he got any closer to Quixotic, that he was going to puke. Of course it's not my birthday, replied Quixotic. It's her birthday. Quixotic pointed towards the Victorian chair that was next to him. Phoenix had to squint to see in the dimness, but he finally saw her. Her sunken eyes and almost non-existent nose. Her now dull red hair that used to have green streaks in it. Her small rotting body slumped in the Victorian chair Quixotic stood next to. Would you like a slice of cake, Dr. Baleful? Quixotic handed the corpse woman a slice of cake. Phoenix finally lost it, throwing up all over the gym floor. Damn it, Quixotic, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yelled Phoenix. She's been dead for over a decade. You're the one who killed her, cried Quixotic. Bury her, you psycho! Leave her in peace! But Phoenix, it's because of you she'll never be at peace, Quixotic yelled. Not until we have completed our work and our plans for a better future succeeds. And you're not going to stand in the way. A huge 5-foot pencil flew at Phoenix out of the corner of his eye. Phoenix dodged as it stuck to the gymnasium floor. "What the fuck went wrong in your life that you can't bury something that's long dead?" yelled Phoenix. "What went wrong in my life?" yelled Quixotic. "It all went wrong when I moved to America." The man who threw the giant pencil threw another one, aimed right at Phoenix's head. "It went wrong when I became king of the trash heap."